Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Phil DeVasto. We're here at Hosmer Chiropractic Health. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the best way to get some self-care on the quads. So the quads, big muscles that run from the knee all the way up to the front of the pelvis here. Most people, when they roll their quads, they just kind of go face down and roll right through. What I'm going to try to show you is how to effectively roll the entire quad. So we're going to get the medial quads, lateral quads, right through the middle, and we're going to transition. We're going to get the IT band, which is a nice tight fibrous band that runs on the lateral side of the leg. So first things is I like to start with just my regular foam roller when I'm rolling these and kind of just test it out, see how it feels. If it's not enough tension, we can upgrade into one of these products here. I'll talk about those, but for starters, let's just use a regular foam roller. Before we get down and get started, what I like to do, instead of just treating this region as one whole region, I like to split it up. It's a big area to go, and it's just pretty easy to kind of get lost when you're rolling through the whole quad. But what I like to do is split it up. So instead of rolling from here to here, I'll split it up in half. So I'll roll from the knee to halfway up, and then halfway up to the top. And then instead of just, like I was saying before, rolling right through one plane, why don't we roll in and get inside, middle, and outside. So let's talk about that. We're going to be face down here. And just start with that roller anywhere you want. You can kind of pick where you want to start. I'm going to start with the upper. We're going to go upper middle to start. Just like any other foam rolling, the idea is to spend about 3 or 4 slow rolls through every area of that tissue. And what we're doing here is we're actually looking for areas that feel tender, feel tight. And when we find one of those, so I'm just kind of rolling through the middle top here, and then what I'm going to do is just kind of roll in and get the inside, and I'm going to roll out and get the outside. If we found a spot, let's say I had some tight tissue right here, what we're going to do is see if we can kind of just breathe into it, sink into that spot, and do a little bit of mini roll right through that spot. I'll spend about 30 seconds or so on every little spot I find. You might be really tight the whole way, might be tight. You might be spending 10-15 minutes just on one quad. So hunt around, look for the tight spots. So we get through the top, and then what I'll do is just kick that roller down, and now I'm working from the knee to the mid quad, through the middle, again through the outside, and through the inside, checking that all the areas of the tissue, looking for anything that feels restricted. When you find it again, spend a little time. If you want to build some more tension, one other trick here would be to find a spot, pin it down, and then go ahead and flex the knee, create some flexion, and then roll through. And then you can kind of find another spot, same thing, bend that knee back and forth as you're rolling through. And that can be a good way to let some of that tissue go. So now the next part that I was saying, we've kind of got through the front, inside, a little bit on the outside. Now we're going to get that IT band. Same thing we just did. I'm going to split the tissue up. I'm not going to roll the entire way. I'm probably going to roll half and half. So I'll start way up high on the hip, and I'm just going to go searching right through the side of the leg, searching for any spots that feel tight. So 3 or 4 slow rolls through there, and then I'll go ahead and I'll roll, and I'll get the front side of the band, and we'll see if there's anything in there. So I have a little spot right there. I'll probably just kind of breathe through, sit on that spot, do some mini rolling. And the other thing you can do, same thing, we can bend that knee, pull it all the way back, and what we're doing there is we're kind of pinning down the IT band, and now we're pulling the quads back and forth, breaking up any adhesion between those two structures. So work your way all the way down to the knee, outside, through the front, and through the back. And definitely spend your time where it's needed. The whole, like I said, the whole area might be tight, in which case you'll be going real slow the whole way up, but play through there a little bit and see how that feels. For some people this isn't enough. I just went through there, was able to find a couple spots, but nothing really too much sticking up. I might want to get in a little bit deeper. This is pretty soft. We have a couple of tools here, the quad baller, and the newest one that just came out is this BattleStar, and I'm loving this. Has a lot of grip to it. It really gets into the tissue a lot deeper, and you can really start to break some of that stuff up. So same kind of stuff, but when you're on this thing, you're going to feel a lot more tension through the tissue, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm rolling through the same spot I just did with the roller, but I'm able to get in a lot deeper with this, and I can feel a lot more deep tightness in some of the muscles that I can get in. And same thing, I can bend that knee back and forth, or I can do a couple mini rolls in there and see if I can't tack some things down and start to loosen up some of that tight tissue. So don't be afraid to get in there with something a little more aggressive like this. on both the quads, and this thing's great on the IT band as well. And it's the same motion through the side. Check out the front, check out the back, work your way all the way up, and even start getting into the hips, but that's a whole nother area, so look for the hip video on its own. So anyways, now you know what to do. Go home, check out the quads and IT bands, and see if you can loosen up those areas.